and proceed with your testimony.
Hi, I'm Ampa Olak. I represent Mile High Unity. I am Humpaba Lakota Ata today.
Oh, okay. Where's okay. Hi, I'm Shanoa Francis, and I represent Mile High Unity and myself, and I'm Navajo and Hopi.
Madaki Api, Chanteo Shanape, Chius Api, Deon Yupi Waka Chichi Api. Hello, my name is Kaya Trujillo Claremont. I am Sichanga Lakota, Taspalo, Meskwaki, and Leech Lake Ojibwe. And I am representing Mile High Unity and all my tribes and myself as well.
Did you all sign up on the sheet before? Whoever wants to go first, please start.
The mascot issue is something that is highly problematic, and this topic is generally dismissed from other people because it is seen as not important or something that is not relevant to those who it doesn't concern. High school mascots are not something to be proud of because it dehumanizes Native people and our culture. Research has shown that it affects self-esteem within our high schools for Native students. This can indirectly lead to the depressive states for our student, and this is extremely harmful, especially since we're growing up and dealing with negative aspects of our culture and not knowing how to deal with that. This is traumatizing because we are dealing with people who are enforcing negative stereotypes about our culture and not willing to change. I'd like to imagine a way of life where my way of praying, my culture, and my belief system is not trivialized and made a joke of. When I see something that is scarce to my culture and being played with and not respected, it makes me feel less than. It makes me feel that us, as Native people, are constantly going to be stepped on, forgotten, and our problems are not seen as important as other issues. Sometimes I wonder what it would be to live in a world where people realize that I exist and not be constantly told that I thought Natives were dead. I thought Natives were a thing of the past. With simply those two phrases, and that means simply those two phrases, it shows how much we need of a change. And how Native Americans are seen in mainstream America and educational systems. This is important to me because I want to be in a safe and supportive environment where it doesn't affect my history and erase my culture and be unacknowledged. Representation is important. With this bill, my hope of living in an equal society is one step closer.
My name is Shanoa Francis. On behalf of Unity and my family, I'm here in support of this bill because names like Redskins and Savages are degrading and racist. We aren't a forgotten people of the past, but a people of the now, and we plan to remember our history and ancestors correctly. Nobody wants to go down in history as barbarians and vulgar beasts, but that's how we're portrayed. We need to honor our ancestors for their strength, resilience, and intelligence, not an ugly, drunk savage with red skin and a big nose. We've seen racism all throughout history. For example, in the 1900s during the Colorado and California gold rushes, acts were taken to try and remove Indians from their lands. The state of California even passed a law that allowed people to get money for killing Indians. We had a treatment that was worse than animals. Colorado's history isn't so great either. In the Sand Creek Massacre, as well as other events, soldiers were more than disrespectful and degrading. Both before and after they killed natives, they would cut off smaller body parts like toes, fingers, ears, and genitals, and keep them as trophies. Afterwards, they would parade around downtown Denver to show off their kills. Soldiers would even go as far as cutting out the babies of a pregnant woman, throw them to the ground, and step on their heads to save bullets. We have a deep historical trauma, and even today it shows. Earlier, a woman spoke about Cheyenne Mountain High School, and my sister attended Cheyenne Mountain High School, and the Indians. Today, this year, out of 1,325 students, only 9 are Native. And this is a legitimate statistic from the White House Initiative of American Indian and Alaskan Native Education. My sister told me that their booster club, which was parent-run and sponsored, created slogans such as "Scalp the Scorpions," a rival team. At pep rallies and halftime shows, everyone participated in their infamous war chants and tomahawk chops. Kids wore headdresses and carried tomahawks daily. Players, she said, would also wear war paint for their games and also days they played. Nobody would speak up because everyone supported it and didn't realize how wrong it was. But it was a mainly white school, and my sister found it sickening at how racist and ignorant they seemed to be. Cheyenne Mountain High School is only one of the 30 schools in Colorado with an Indian mascot. Of those 30, the majority, 27 or so, can hurt the Native youth psychologically and mentally. Today, I asked our leadership in government who possess the will to help instill accountability. If you want to see the youth of today become good citizens and leaders, it's your responsibility to see that certain injustices are addressed to eradicate all racism. We look to you to set forth positive, mindful, and positive actions that will bring communities together for peace, love, and compassion for 7 generations to come. If you don't set a mindful example today, I and others from Mile High Unity will be back in this room again and again to fight against this form and all forms of racism against Native nations and Indigenous peoples, because we are not a Halloween costume. Thank you for hearing me, and I look forward to hearing your decision.
My name is Kay Trujillo Claremont. So these mascots, they create harm, and not only for victims like myself and my fellow community members here, but it creates harm for the non-Native kids as well. And essentially these mascots, they're training kids to be perpetrators. And so this isn't just about us, it's affecting all Colorado students. All of these 30 schools that have representation of Indians or warriors or whatever you may call it. But these mascots, they have potential, they're harmful. And this is a national conversation, I believe, and it's about our civil rights. It's about these imagery and these symbols, and they're being violated. Our civil rights are being violated by these images that our young children see. And so I'm just speaking on behalf of all Colorado students. And to the men who testified earlier on for Strasburg, I went to that high school for an FBLA conference, and going there not knowing that their mascot was Indians, I walked into the high school and I automatically felt dehumanized as a Lakota woman, as a Kalispel, as a Meskwaki, and as a Ojibwe. I didn't know what to think because this was the first time it was really in my face. And hearing that they're honoring us, or they want to somewhat, give this, like I said, honor for our people, I don't feel honored at all. And so I ask not only for my Native people, but for all Native youth here today that, the leadership in our government needs to address and educate all racism in all these forms. And so unity teaches us to utilize and exhibit mindfulness in our daily time, in our daily lives, to be a good human and ancestor. So let me ask you, how can you also be a good ancestor for these 7 generations to come? Thank you.
Are there questions for these students? I need to make a couple comments to you. Young ladies, you did an excellent job of presenting your case. And you did the research necessary to do it. And also, it should be enough for us to consider your well-being and not worry about the whole world at one time. And so I know that the harm that we're doing to non-native students is different, but it ought to be enough for us to consider the harm we're doing to the native students. So I appreciate you coming, you did a great job. We'll be considering your input seriously. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are there other students that need to come forward?